Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm finally here with my best of 2013 product video. That's a bit of a mouthful, but you get the gist anyway. I've been meaning to film this for like a week and I've just kind of been putting it off. One, because I've been really lazy and I've, procrastinated. Yeah, it's hard to sit down and really think and write down the products that you've loved in each category without going over like 2 or 3. Used and tried lots of new products this year, so I did have my hands full, and in this part of the video I think I'm going to do a second part, probably will. It's going to be all about sort of like makeup, so that's what I'm all about, man. I love my makeup. So I'm going to go through sort of in order things that I've absolutely been loving this year and kind of just like a little mini reviews as we go along. Let's not get too carried away, Katie, and talk forever because that will not interest anybody. Right, let's start with primers. So I've never really been a bit of a primer girl, and 2013 I've become the queen of the prime. Yeah, there's been 2 primers that really stood out to me and I literally could not decide between either of them just because they're both quite different in what they look to achieve. They're both by Mercier, which is going to be a bit of a recurring theme, but they are the oil-free primer and the Radiance primer. These are both in the deluxe travel size, whatever, and I absolutely love these. The Radiance one kind of I thought wouldn't work on my oily skin, but it really does, in that it gives me sort of like a lit from within glow and sort of gives a sort of soft focus kind of look. And the oil-free is oil-free, so it's good at sort of controlling the oil in the sort of T-zone area and makes my foundation last that little bit longer, and I absolutely love these. I think the Mercier primers are fantastic. On to bases, and I thought I'd go for one high-end and then one sort of drugstore foundations, and the high-end one is Mercier again. She strikes again, and this is the Silk Cream foundation, which I discovered this year and fell head over heels in love with. It's absolutely beautiful. It's really pigmented, so you need to use a tiny bit, and it's just a matter of really buffing it into the skin, and it just gives such a flawless base, and it's just like a really nice sort of medium to full coverage, quite satiny finish, so it's not too dewy and it's not too matte. It kind of just sort of sits in the middle, which has been perfect. I can wear this during the day or even on an evening and it just looks flawless. Absolutely. And then the next one is the Bourjois Happy Light foundation, which is a really nice sort of illuminating foundation, and it's a kind of medium, well, light to medium coverage, which is good for sort of like every day, and it just gives my skin a really sort of flawless, lit from within glow, just in the same way that the Radiance primer from Mercier does, but with coverage. And it smells really nice, and I really recommend this one as well. On to concealers, and I haven't really broken out a lot this year, touch wood. I could have really injured myself then. So I kind of just go for a concealer that just sort of stays under the eyes and sort of illuminates and brightens under there and kind of covers any dark circles. And for that I've been going back to, again and again, the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. It's really nice and light under the eyes, and it gives a really sort of subtle luminosity and covers really nicely. I wouldn't really use it on spots because it is quite illuminating, so that kind of would defeat the purpose because you don't really want to illuminate your spots, but I really like this and I've repurchased it again and again. Before I go on to sort of like bronzers and blushes, etc., I'm going to make 2 mentions. One for contour, and that would be MAC Harmony blush that I got this year after a long time of just sort of lusting over it, and it is the perfect contour. It's a really cool toned matte shade that just works perfectly to sort of hit the back of your cheekbone, sort of sculpt the face, down the nose, etc., and it's just really great. It's not muddy at all. For highlighter, I picked the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light, which is an all over setting powder, but I find that I use it more for a highlight. It's just a really lovely sort of champagne-y sheen that it gives. I'm wearing it today and it gives sort of a really nice subtle highlight, and it's just gorgeous, and these are expensive but really worth it. Okay, I'll go into bronzer now, and I kind of picked 2, I know, and the first one's a really obvious one because I'm pretty sure it's in everybody's sort of favourite bronzers, and it's NARS Laguna and This is my second one and they just last absolutely ages. It's just the perfect sort of bronzy shade. It's not too orange, it's not too muddy. It's just a really nice sort of warmth that it gives the skin, and it's the number one bronzer out there for a reason, and it's just absolutely fantastic. The only problem I have with it is that once you hit pan on it, it is very, very fragile. I've had one smash before and it was like the end of the world. So yeah, love this bronzer. And I'd give another mention to a Kardashian one, and this is the Cabana bronze. This is a different packaging to the one I had before because I went out and got really drunk and smashed my original Cabana bronzer, so that wasn't great. Yeah, so it looks like this. The packaging's not the greatest, it is quite sort of cheap looking, but look at the size of that bronzer. It's huge, and it's just really nice. It's got subtle sort of flecks in there. I'm wearing it today just to give me a bit of a sheen to the face, and it's has tiny particles of glitter that doesn't show up sort of shimmery. It gives you sort of a nice warmth, a nice glow, and it's sort of a nice alternative to the Laguna. I really like that. For blush, I'm such a blush sort of flitter, but I thought I'd go for the NARS even, Guy Bourdain One Night Stand palette, which sold out pretty much straight away, and it is this, and it has 4 blush shades, of which I just kind of use all of them on a regular basis, and I really haven't put this down at all. There's some beautiful shades in this. There's always something for every sort of occasion, and whenever these kind of blush palettes come out, I really think they're worth picking up because they're so worth the money and they go pretty much straight away, and you can see why. Onto powders, and for a pressed powder, Rimmel Stay Matte wins every time. I've gone through about 50 million of these. They are the most accident prone piece of makeup I've ever had the sort of displeasure of having, because I have gone through about 5 or 6 of these and each one has smashed to smithereens. So not the greatest, but product wise fantastic for just putting down the T-zone to just sort of keep the oil at bay, and it's just been a fantastic godsend, and it's so cheap as well, so I just love it, and pretty much everybody I know owns that. And then for a loose powder, it is the Bourjois Java rice powder, which comes in this old school sort of tin packaging, and it's a very sort of pink pearlescent powder, and it gives the most beautiful sheen over the skin. It's in the same way that the Hourglass does, but less sort of glittery, and just gives sort of a luminosity to the skin and just looks incredible, and I really enjoy using that. Next I'm going to go into eyebrows, and this year I want to give a mention to one specific thing and then go into products that help me along the way, and the first thing that I'm going to mention is HD brows. I've been getting them for a year and I've seen such a dramatic difference in my eyebrows. It's actually ridiculous. This is my good eyebrow and that's my dud eyebrow, and it's finally growing an arch, so I'm very happy about that. So I'll give a mention to HD brows for just like saving my eyebrows, but then I will give the main sort of bulk of it to the Hourglass Brow Arch Sculpting Pencil, which has the sort of spoolie on one end, and then what is left, there's the tiniest bit left, and then the waxy sort of pencil on one side. That is the best brow product I have ever used. Like, it is incredible, and it makes me so sad to know that I've actually got to the point where I've run out of it. So another good alternative is the Soap and Glory Archery pencil, which again nearly at the end of, but this one's sort of more of a rounded tip than an angled one, which I'd prefer an angled tip, but this is just as good and it's for like a fraction of the price. To set brows, I've been loving the Maybelline Brow Drama mascara, which just sort of pops everything into place, and it's got a great tint to it, so if you don't really want to do your eyebrows, you can kind of do them and get away with it. Onto eyeliners, and I haven't really worn that much eyeliner this year. I'm gonna put it out there, I haven't, just because I'm trying to like get the necessities on my face on a morning, but I have come across these that I think are really good, and they're the Rimmel Scandalised Waterproof Col Kajals, and I've got 2 here. I've got nude and then I think the one's called taupe, and they're just really great. The nude one's great from the inside, sort of waterline to brighten up the eyes, and the taupe one's just been really nice, just sort of all over the lid and smoke it out just for like a really... Onto cream eyeshadows, and I couldn't be without my Maybelline 24-hour colour tattoo in On and On Bronze, which is, I've used a fair bit of. Like, I'm getting some sort of concave motion going on there. Concave motion, that doesn't make any sense. I know what I mean. These are absolutely fantastic, and they keep your eyeshadow from creasing all day, and they are just brilliant, and they are so cheap and affordable, so I have quite a few of those. Then on to eyeshadows, and I'm going to mention 2 palettes, and then I'm going to mention like a special mention because I'm allowed and it's my video. The first one is the NARS and God Created the Woman palette, which looks like this, and this has taken a hammering, as you can tell by that shade there, Kalahari. Luckily Space NK have actually brought this back out, and I really recommend picking this up. They are really diddy, the palettes, but the colours are fantastic and the colour payoff is beautiful, and they just blend amazingly. Another palette that I've sort of come across this year is a Smashbox one, which isn't something I usually go for, but their Blue Eyes palette I've used so much this year. I absolutely love all the shades, and they just give like a really gorgeous effect on the eyes, and I definitely think I'm going to pick up some more Smashbox eyeshadows. I'm reflecting this, isn't great? And the, you know, there's, and the rest of the shimmery, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I've used that quite a bit, and even though I haven't got blue eyes, I've enjoyed that very much. And then for the special mention, it is a palette that's only recently come out, but I'm going to hopefully do a tutorial using this palette, because I did like a sort of going out kind of look, and I was going to film a video for it, but my eyes have been really sore and dry, so I didn't want to aggravate them. But it is the Naked 3 palette, which I feel deserves a little bit of a special mention, even though it's a bit of a sort of cop out in that it hasn't been around for that long. But the shades are absolutely gorgeous, and they're rose gold shades, and I've been wearing this loads since I got it, and yeah, we'll save that for a video, but I definitely think that deserves mention because it is beautiful. And for mascara, I picked one that I've actually repurchased, and I don't repurchase a lot of mascaras, and it's the Rimmel Lash Accelerator Endless, which is just amazing, and I never thought I'd like it so much because it is one of these sort of plasticky ones, but I've grown to really like them this year, and this just gives such amazing volume, and I feel like it's that little bit better than Benefit They're Real in that, one, it's cheaper, and two, it sort of gives my, really opens my eyes up, really lengthens, volumizes everything, and I just think it's a fantastic mascara, and the packaging is horrendous, but it is a very good mascara, and I've loved it pretty much all year. Finally, onto lips, and I thought I'd do sort of like little categories within there. Lipstick wise, I've fallen head over heels in love with MAC Lady Danger, which is just the most gorgeous orangey red shade that I probably can't wear right now with my lips, but I wore it so much this year and I absolutely love it. It was my first sort of matte lipstick, and I bought quite a few since. Just for like all over colour, MAC Cream Cup, just a really nice sort of peachy pink, sort of nudie colour that you can just sort of wash over the lips, and just generally looks really nice. But what I have really been wearing quite a lot of are these sort of like lip crayons, and I've got two, one from Bourjois and one from Rimmel, and they're pretty much the same colour, and all the packaging has worn off. This is Peach to the Beach, or Peach on the Beach even, and it's just gorgeous, really glossy peachy shade. I have all of these Bourjois ones. They're really glossy, but they sort of leave like a nice sort of stain on the lips. And then the Rimmel Colour Rush, like the packaging so grubby on these, a bit of a bag, in Give Me a Cuddle, which is also another sort of peachy pink, but this one's kind of got quite a purpley undertone, and these are a bit more, there's a lot thicker to wear, and I just think they're really lovely, and you can't go wrong with these sort of like lip crayon-y tings. And then for lip gloss, there's only sort of one that I've really been going back to, and that is the Creme Beauty or Kardashian Beauty Cherry Blossom Honey lip gloss, which is tacky as hell, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It gives a really nice sort of pink tint to the lips, and it is quite sickly, so I'll put that out there. But these are just beautiful, and I definitely want to get some more of these. I've been really impressed with the Kardashian stuff, at least the stuff that I've got so far. And finally onto tools, and obviously I'm going to mention brushes and eyelash curlers. Eyelash curlers, these grubby shimmers are a godsend. I use them every single day, and they just leave my lashes really sort of awakened, like they really awaken my eyes with it, and it holds a curl really, really well. These are absolutely amazing, and I really couldn't be without them. They're just such a staple. And then finally for brushes, a special mention to the MAC 217 for being the best blending brush known to man. It just is incredible. It's always the one brush that everybody goes on about from MAC, and it's so obvious why. It's amazing. Blends out your eyeshadow perfectly, applies the colour perfectly. Love that so much. There's a few real techniques thrown in here, and the first one being the Duo Fibre face brush that I've used for all sorts this year. I've used it for powder, for bronzer, for blusher, and it just applies the product so evenly and so nicely that you can build it up. Love that brush. And then the multitask brush, which again, multifunctional, I can use it for pretty much everything, and just a lovely brush altogether. And then also the buffing brush, which is perfect for applying foundation. And in a similar vein, I've got a Nancy one that's kind of similar, and these are both fantastic for applying foundations, and just can't be without these kind of buffing brushes for your face. I just feel like they make such a difference. And then finally the MAC 138 brush, I think it is. It seems to have worn off. This sort of tapered brush is absolutely perfect for a bit of contour, and I've used this brush for years and absolutely love it. So yeah, that's all my makeup stuff. My bed is now covered in makeup, so I need to clear that up. But if you want, I will do a second part which features like hair and body stuff, skincare, that kind of thing, if you're interested. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope it wasn't too long for you. I will try and edit it down tremendously. But I hope you guys had an amazing 2013, and I will see you in 2014. Bye!